And you are listening to the Exitology Unlock Your Profits, Unlock Your Potential show on the International Business Growth Radio Network. I'm your host, Jason Wally Waldron, and I am joined today by Shina Culberson, who's the president of Quist Valuation and also a fellow certified exit planning advisor. And we have been having a very interesting conversation today covering all sorts of things, including the idea of just what is valuation, why is it important in terms of getting clear on how much your business looks, what's your business look like to a capital buyer, for instance, right? Valuation could do that for you. Am I actually taking actions that's in alignment with making more valuable business? Evaluation could do that for you. But I think most importantly, staying clear and focused around increasing that transferable value metric for all of the reasons, which we're going to go into in a minute, but really just because it'll make your life and better, frankly. It'll make your business better. It'll make it better for everybody. I think it's important. But more importantly is valuation is a practice and it's a process, and it's something that you do on a regular basis. And I want to start there, Shina. So welcome back. Thank you for coming back for this fourth segment of today's show. Let's start talking a little bit about what does it look like to take somebody on that 3 to 5 year exit journey? Because I know a lot of the folks that listen to this show, I'll kind of give you a sense for it. It's really two main buckets. There's your 52-year-old who's been running a blue-collar business for the last, 30 odd years, and he's just tired and ready for the next stage of his life. Then there's also the baby boomer who it kind of snuck up on him. And I'm oversimplifying for the sake of our discussion, but that's about 80% of who's listening to this right now. And so as they're listening to this, they may not understand how valuation applies to their situation, and they may not understand sort of what does it look like to take somebody on a 3 to 5 year exit journey. And let's start there, because you've been around the block. You've seen every type of deal done under the sun at this point.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me.
100%.
So as you mentioned, I am a certified exit planning advisor, and so I tend to follow the same sort of framework taught by the Exit Planning Institute. And so the way that I think about valuation along the business owner's journey is we at Quist break it down. And if you visit our website at quistvaluation.com, you'll see this. But we break down the business owner journey into 4 phases, 4 buckets.
Okay.
The first would be discovery.
Okay.
And that's, to your point, maybe those are those business owners that have never had a valuation done before.
Yep.
They don't know, am I a $1 million business? Am I a $1 billion business? Where is the value in these structural capital areas that we've been discussing before? Where is value being derived in my company? But has never done a valuation. So there's that discovery phase.
Yep.
And we have our platform solution, Quist Insights.
Yep. That
is a great it's a great starting point for any business owner that's in that discovery phase. But then undoubtedly what happens when you go through that discovery phase is business owners go, oh, I didn't realize that maybe my human capital is a little not where I think it is. Maybe I've got a business partner, or I've got an employee. Either I've got a business partner and I realize we're not on the same page, right, or I've got some key employees and they're really essential to the value of my business. They're really essential to keep this value driving higher.
Yeah.
And I need to do something to make them more secure in my business. So then the next phase I think about once you go through that discovery is kind of that business preparation phase. Okay, so now that I realize either I don't have a partner where we're aligned anymore, or I've got key employees that need to come in, for example, you might need a different kind of valuation.
Okay.
One for buyout.
Okay.
Or one for issuing a phantom equity plan. That is where if you go back a couple episodes, that's very event-driven sort of valuation, but it's a different type of valuation.
Yeah.
we need an expert from that kind of
and
discovery phase.
and so forgive my ignorance, but what when you do evaluation, there's an element of, I mean, ultimately what you're doing, just at its basic level, is I'm looking to assign a value to this business based on X, Y, and Z. And here's where I'm going with this. Based on X, Y, Z might be what perspective do I need to come from. So for instance, I might be, right, if you're doing a phantom equity perspective, that could be a different perspective that the valuation needs to be done from, as opposed to maybe a financial buyer perspective, for instance, or an ESOP perspective. Is that true, or am I kind of off base there?
No, that is true. I mean, so if you were to do a valuation of a business that's going to go to market and sell, it's a value. It might include some sort of strategic value.
Oh,
Who's your
okay.
likely buyer? Um, what sort of premiums are being paid in the marketplace?
Okay.
Versus if you issue a phantom equity plan, you're really valuing that common share or common unit
Mm-hmm.
down to that specific per share price.
Okay.
Or then you're looking at someone, well, they're along for the ride, but they don't have any liquidity and they don't have any control over the company. So it's a different type of valuation with different
Yeah.
requirements.
And I think, and so I think one of the important things, for the listeners to know is it's valuation is part of your entire business plan. It's part of your entire business cycle, frankly, and really you're going to have other strategic advisors around the table who are giving inputs into the type of valuation that's needed. Is that fair?
Absolutely. So we back up again. So
Mm-hmm.
again, over a 5-year plan, let's say
Yeah.
5 years to exit, starting with discovery,
Yep.
what's ticking, what's working. It's kind of a
Just
health check for
where
the
am
business.
I, right? Just
Where
a
am I?
diagnostic.
Right. Then you're moving into preparing the business, right? Right.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, what are some of those structural things within the business that might need to change? And then where does valuation come in? That sort of valuation would be very sort of scenario driven.
Okay.
Then the next phase that I think about for as we're on our 3 to 5 year journey is preparing yourself as a business owner on a personal level.
Yeah.
So there you're talking about you get into a whole different set of issues, right?
Yep.
Your personal legacy and how does your business fit into your personal legacy? What sort of legacy do you want to leave? Either is it for other family members, for the next generation?
Yep.
Is it to a charity? We are doing a ton of valuations right now for charitable donations.
Cool.
And so legacy is not, it can be your family, but it also can be your charity, your church, community organization where you want to leave, a donation to them.
Totally.
And you do that through your business. But that has a lot, that phase, when I think about it, is it incorporates the business, but it's a lot on the individual, right?
Okay.
What's their
Yeah.
goal?
Yeah. Well, and here's if I were to boil it all down, the common thread here is that if we agree to measure by the one metric that actually matters, which is the business transferable and does it have value, right? It's literally just a measuring stick. How am I doing? Right? Because all these things are going to happen in the business, right? And you and I know, over a 5-year period of time, you're going to get hit by something, whether it's disruption in the marketplace or disagreement with a partner or any of these types of things, right? Go on down the line. But ultimately, if I've worked with this point of clarity that the valuation that you provide can give me, then all of a sudden, it's a measuring stick, and so. We've seen this situation. I've heard it put this way, where you think you have a private golf course valuation, but really you have a public golf course valuation, right? And I always thought that was like so funny because it's and what that means is you were at the private golf course and your buddy who you think is running the same company as you said, "Hey, I just cashed out for right," and you're like, "Oh, I should be able to do the same thing," and for whatever reason your business is not worth that now. There's a lot in that statement, right?
Yes. Yes, there's a lot. And I think that one of our goals as a valuation partner, either to the business owner or to their team of advisors,
Mm-hmm.
is to be educational,
Yeah.
help business owners understand where should they be focusing on driving value,
Yep.
because that's should I be growing top revenue? Should I be focused more on profitability? Should I be focused more on these structural issues of de-risking the business?
Right.
So depending upon where the business is and what the business owner's goals are, I might have a different answer for you, right?
Right.
It's not black and white. So, but being partnered with a valuation expert or having a team around you that understands that the needs change over the life cycle
Yep.
of the business and the owner, and the type of perspective of the valuation might be nuanced depending upon what the goals and objectives are from the individual business owner, is really important.
Yep. Well, and ultimately, here's the importance of this as I see it, is it drives clarity, so that everybody is having the same conversation. And as I was listening to you explain that, the idea of these words came to mind. Clarity creates capital, right? And that's really what we're doing, right? Because if you go on this whole entire exit journey, the idea is to go from something that you can't sell to something that you can sell, and then you have all of the options available to you to create perfect exit. And without clarity, you cannot create that capital or those options. And so, that I think is the ultimate value of what you're offering in the marketplace. And whether it's to the business owner themselves, whether it's to the CPA, the Certified Exit Planning Advisor group, or really any of these other folks around the table, everybody can benefit from this. So, Shina, thank you for being here today. Are there any parting words that you'd like to share with us as we end?
Well, my biggest advice is just to make valuation part of your practice.
Beautiful.
And an ongoing process, as opposed to thinking about it just a one-time event.
There we go. I love it. Well, Shina, thank you for being here today. Folks, you've been listening to the Exitology Unlock Your Profits, Unlock Your Potential show. We will see you next time. Thanks for having me.